I'm content with myself, what I did and what I'm doing. When there is a brutal storm outside, I feel content and peaceful in my home, which is myself. Whatever the future brings, I'm ready because I am me. I can trust myself and I have supreme confidence in my ability to somehow navigate life and not break at everything that life throws at me. Because of all of that, I find supreme peace. And that's the dream, isn't it? Well, after 4 years of self-improvement, I sometimes get a glimpse into that feeling of what I shall call now supreme confidence. Now in this video, I want to share with you the 3 practical steps kind of that I contribute most of this feeling to, at least from my experience, and therefore hopefully help you achieve the same. Before I do so, however, just quickly subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also like this video if you want to see more, let's say, good content on your For You page, which will actually, better your life. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the 3 things that I think you have to do. And then later on, I will just also share some more thoughts about this, which are equally as important, I believe. So the number 1 thing is you have to learn about the world and how it works. A lot of insecurity, anxiety, and just a lot of dumb shit can really be avoided if you understand how things work. Take, for example, business or women. If you know how to make a business profitable, then you gain confidence in that field and you avoid just mistakes, and you will actually have the ability to build a profitable business. If you know how women, very, very broadly speaking, because of evolution, work, and also just if you know basic things about psychology, then you will just navigate your romantic life way better and avoid stupid bullshit right there. That can potentially end your romantic life in a sense. And this expands to many more fields, like economics, physics, politics, history, and so much more. So go out there with curiosity and enjoy learning about the world, because there's just so much to learn, and it's always awesome to understand things. Every time you just read something or you hear about something where just something clicks in your mind and you're like, oh shit, now I understand this, it's a great feeling. Awesome feeling. And then going forward, you will just make way less mistakes and just do stuff that will lead to way better outcomes. And so your life in general will just be so much better. Quick warning, however, at this part, don't ever assume that you know everything. Rather adopt a mindset that you kind of know nothing. It's way better, and also just have a flexible mind and always assume that you don't know something, which could turn everything around. But at the same time, of course, don't be too flexible. If there's strong evidence for something, then it's very likely that that is the case. But still, you could be wrong. Could not be the case. So just still have that in your mind and kind of keep that flexibility. So that's that. The second practical step right here is learn about living frameworks, I shall call them. And what I mean by this essentially is philosophy. And what I don't want you to do here is just read 100 books on philosophy, on every single philosophy there is. But no, I want you to study a specific framework which is very practical. And that's kind of Stoicism, on general, how just practical philosophies that set up a framework on how to live life. And I recommend Stoicism at this point because it's a very, very strong and practical philosophy that will just give you the tools or the mindset or whatever you want to call it to handle difficulty in life. Because if you know how to handle hard shit and not break because of it, then there's nothing that will break you, generally speaking. And then your vision on how to live life will just clear up, and you will have way more clarity going through your day-to-day life even, which is just so amazing. It feels like the curtains are lifted or whatever, and now you know what to do kind of. And so that's just amazing. It's truly amazing. It gives you something to hold on to in this very complex and also oftentimes drowning world, so to speak. What this will also do is you will learn how to accept and live with the reality which you learn about because of the prior point. And this is so important because, let me tell you this, the reality of things is oftentimes not disappointing, but it can be quite harsh and be quite, oh fuck, so this is how things work, I didn't expect this, and it can be really shocking. So be prepared for that, and practical philosophy like Stoicism will give you a framework on how to handle this, besides basically everything life throws at you. So definitely don't skip step 2. It's really important. Now the third, equally important practical step is be on good terms with yourself. And this has to happen through action. You have to understand that the biggest critic of yourself is yourself. And that is mainly because we know exactly, your critic, yourself, knows exactly what you think, what you did, and just everything about you. It literally knows everything because it's yourself. So yeah, your biggest critic is yourself, and nothing can be hidden from it. And that critic judges you constantly, and you can't fool it once again. So what I want to drive home here is you don't want to give that critic too much to complain about, because giving him nothing to complain about basically is impossible. Like, we have to stay feasible and realistic, but you can come very close to that. And for sure, avoid heavily criticizable things that will basically ruin your entire life, because they will plague you until the rest of your life, which can definitely be the case. For example, if you kill somebody, you will have to live with that thought for the rest of your life, and that critic will not stop criticizing you for that, because I mean, I kind of don't have to explain to you how this works. You already kind of understand. But yeah, if you live on good terms with that critic, then you will be kind of just content with yourself, which is awesome. It's amazing. And this also leads into the previous 2 points I just made, because for example, just because you know in theory how to handle like romantic relationships or how to go about with like humans in general, doesn't mean you can practically do it. Like, those things are 2 separate worlds, and you don't know whether or not you truly are capable and whether or not you're truly competent in that sense, if you've not stress tested your theoretical knowledge by just going in the field and actually being the man in the arena, and you deep down truly know whether or not you're truly competent in a certain area. So once again, you can't fool yourself. So go out there and engage in the real world. Apply this concept to basically everything. You will not only reap the benefits of being on good terms with yourself, but you will also just, in general, better your life and have a pretty pleasant life. And the way I just described it to you is truly the only way. You can fake shit in that regard. So yeah, that's it. Now, those were the 3 practical steps. But now, as I said, I have some more thoughts about this, which are equally as important. So let me share those thoughts with you. The first one is that this feeling of supreme confidence is a permanent feeling, and it won't last forever, just like anything won't last forever. It's an emotional state which is built on unshakable confidence. Therefore, it can be quite static, but as I just said, nothing is static forever, and you will have your bad days. You will have your days where you literally feel like fucking shit. It's inevitable, and that's okay. What we want to do is increase the time where we don't feel like shit and actually feel pretty good about ourselves and just about everything, and decrease the time where we truly feel like shit and not feel so great about us and everything. And there is very clear steps for that. So that's what we're gonna do. And then the second thought I have about all of this is that this can kind of like sound like you only want to depend on yourself for life. That's truly wrong, I think. Or it's at least half true. You want to be confident in your ability to be betrayed, but at the same time, you want to depend on others. For example, in business, you kind of have to depend on others to make it work. And in general, it will just make your life so much more fun and just worth living. You have to understand at this point that humans have evolved over thousands of years to depend on others, and you can't necessarily shut this off. I mean, meaningful relationships have been shown like multiple times to be one of the main driving factors for living a fulfilled life. Meaningful means at this point that you can depend on them in times of need, and that you can open up to them and just talk about like basically everything and just really exchange super interesting concepts and ideas and all of that stuff. You want to be able to embrace that with supreme confidence in your ability to be fully fine if being betrayed. For example, I want you to embrace that vulnerability voluntarily when entering a romantic relationship. Voluntarily embracing the chance to get hurt also kind of like liberates you. To get hurt gracefully and then move on. So yeah, I think it's pretty important. Thoughts, comment, this video helped, like it. You want to become better, subscribe to my channel. Like, I base these videos on personal experience and things that have helped me in my life, and also others which are highly successful in whatever area you like. So if you want to become better, subscribe to this channel. Also, as I said, you can check out my Instagram. The link for that is in the description down below. Just like another video of me about complaining, which is a pretty important topic, I think, because it implies a couple other things. So definitely check that out. And so yeah, with all of that being said, I hope you learned something and have a good day, and let's fucking go.